Welcome to Galactic Conundrums, where the universe's most mysterious and thrilling stories unfold. If you're captivated by the unknown, intrigued by UFOs, extraterrestrials, and the vast wonders of the cosmos, you've found your new home. What if the reality we know is just a thin veil, hiding the secrets of the universe? Today, we're diving deep into an extraordinary tale, one of war, mercy, and the true strength of humanity. Picture this: a powerful warship, a seemingly innocent hospital ship, and a commander about to witness a force beyond anything his empire ever imagined. A force so precise, it can erase entire fleets without a trace. But there's more to it. Humanity's greatest power isn't their weapons, it's their choice to heal rather than destroy. Stick around as we explore how this gripping story unfolds, and why you'll never see humanity in quite the same way again. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all the jaw-dropping content we've got coming your way. You won't want to miss it. Now, let's dive into today's adventure. The bridge of the Dark Spear is dimly lit, the walls of the command center lined with sharp edges, each corner reflecting the cold, sterile nature of its occupant, Commander Draxos. His eyes, burning with contempt, are fixed on the farthest reaches of space, where the gleaming white form of the Mercy's light floats like a distant star in the endless void. The hospital ship, massive and peaceful, appears out of place, its hull marked with the symbol of a red cross. This symbol, meant to represent hope and compassion, only fuels Draxos' disdain. In his view, this ship and its purpose mock everything his empire stands for. A low hum vibrates through the Dark Spear as its engines pulse with restrained power, awaiting its master's command. The view screen flickers slightly, displaying the Mercy's light in all its pristine glory, surrounded by the cold abyss of space. The contrast of its white hull against the deep, endless darkness amplifies the ship's peacefulness, an image that seems to mock Draxos' war-driven soul. Commander Draxos, growling, his voice thick with venom. Look at them. A ship of war-sized proportions, designed for nothing but healing. How utterly wasteful. His mandibles click together in a rhythmic, disdainful motion, the sharpness of his words cutting through the air like an ice-cold blade. Situation: Lieutenant Commander Zira Valen, standing at her tactical station, shifts uncomfortably under Draxos' cold gaze. Her copper-scaled skin reflects the dim lights of the bridge as she tries to reason with her commanding officer. She swallows nervously before speaking, her voice soft yet firm. Lieutenant Commander Zira Valen, carefully. Commander, the Mercy's light is treating over 2,000 patients, including civilians from 12 different species. They are offering medical aid in the midst of the ongoing Centa conflict. They have no interest in war, only in healing. She points to the screen, where several transport ships can be seen docking and departing from the hospital ship, each bringing more wounded to be treated. Her words hang in the cold air, but Draxos does not move, his steely gaze fixed on the ship like a predator watching its prey. Commander Draxos, bitterly. Humanity. Their so-called compassion is their greatest flaw. This foolishness will be their undoing. They waste their technology on soft ideals. Weakness. His voice drips with derision, the word compassion spat out like poison, and he motions toward the peaceful image of mercy's light on the screen. Climax. A tense silence falls over the bridge, broken only by the faint hum of the ship's engines. Zira Valen watches nervously as Draxos' fingers flex and contract. The moment stretches, thick with an ominous energy. The walls of the dark sphere seem to pulse with the gravity of Draxos' thoughts. He turns slowly, the sinister gleam of his eyes piercing the shadows. Commander Draxos, coldly, with a lethal finality. This is a waste. A galaxy should not be ruled by mercy, but by strength. His voice is a low growl, his mind already calculating the cost of what he is about to do. He steps forward, his six-fingered hands gripping the back of the command chair, his gaze fixed on the small, helpless ship. The air seems to thicken with anticipation, the crew sensing the change in his mood. There is no hesitation in his eyes now, only the cold certainty of destruction. Commander Draxos, with brutal finality. No more delays. Target their primary medical bay. I want the humans to see exactly what happens when their weakness is exposed. Fire when ready. The orders are relayed, and the dark sphere shifts slightly, aligning with its target. On the screen, the image of the Mercy's light grows larger, each second bringing it closer to its impending doom. The crew remains silent, knowing what is about to unfold, but none dare to question their commander's decision. The camera lingers on the bridge as the countdown begins. Time feels as though it slows, each second drawn out, each heartbeat amplified in a tense atmosphere. The dark sphere readies its weapon, a sleek, dark energy beam, shimmering with menacing power. The crew, those seasoned warriors, exchange uneasy glances, as if something in their very souls tells them that what they are about to do will forever change the galaxy. Weapons officer, voice trembling. Target locked. Preparing to fire. A single moment of hesitation hangs in the air. Then, with a deafening silence, the energy beam from the dark sphere lances out, tearing through the cold, empty space toward the Mercy's light. The attack is unleashed. The silence of space is shattered by the roar of destruction. A tremor shakes the dark sphere as it unleashes a volley of powerful blasts towards the Mercy's light. The energy beams strike with terrifying precision, crashing into the hospital ship's pristine white hull, sending shockwaves that ripple through the ship's structure. The once serene, glowing exterior of the Mercy's light now flickers under the assault, its gleaming surface cracking like glass, splitting open to reveal the vulnerable heart of the ship. The first blast hits near the forward section, a deep, ominous hum following the explosion. A sharp, crackling sound echoes as the hull fractures. The white, once pure surface begins to disintegrate, and a violent plume of atmosphere bursts outward. The pressurized air and particles disperse like mist into the cold abyss, carried away by the vast emptiness of space. Inside the ship, the atmosphere shifts instantly. The very walls of Mercy's light seem to groan in protest, A deep, unsettling creak reverberating through the metal as the ship starts to lose its integrity. Situation. The crew aboard the Mercy's Light scrambles in a panic, their faces pale with fear as flashing red alarms tear through the otherwise calm corridors. The ship's normally soothing hum now feels like a distant, dying breath. The medical officers, doctors and nurses from many species work frantically, their hands trembling as they stabilize patients who are now even more vulnerable. The cries of the injured mix with the mechanical hum of the emergency systems, creating an eerie symphony of chaos. Escape pods, small and fragile, detach from the belly of the Mercy's Light with violent force. They shoot into the void, each one carrying the injured, those lucky enough to escape the relentless destruction. The pods glow faintly, leaving behind a trail of white light in the inky blackness, each one like a fragile ember escaping a dying fire. But even in the midst of this chaos, the hospital ship's crew refuses to give in. They continue to work tirelessly, securing vital patients, directing the medical droids to help those who cannot be moved, desperately trying to maintain the semblance of order in the face of overwhelming catastrophe. Despite their efforts, the Mercy's Light is not designed for this kind of battle. The walls tremble, and the ship's delicate balance starts to tilt. Shuddering with each new blast, the once pristine corridors and treatment bays are now cloaked in darkness, with emergency lights flickering erratically like the pulse of a dying heart. The ship begins to list, as if it is slowly sinking into the abyss, caught in the grasp of an unseen predator. Climax. With each passing second, the power fades, the hum of the ship's engines growing weaker until it's almost imperceptible. The bridge of Mercy's Light is now a mess of malfunctioning terminals and glowing emergency readouts. The ship's systems struggle to compensate, but the damage is too extensive. The heart of the hospital ship is slowly dying. Yet, even as hope seems to be slipping away, Mercy's Light continues to fight. The faint flicker of a long-range COMM system signals a final, desperate act. The crew sends out a distress signal, its transmission wavering as it cuts through the endless void, a call for help from any ships in range, a desperate plea for salvation that echoes into the darkness. The signal pulses out, weak but steady, like a heartbeat desperately trying to survive, growing fainter with each passing moment. Mercy's Light is on the brink of collapse, but its final message is clear, a plea not just for aid, but for the survival of the very ideals the ship represents. In the cold expanse of space, just beyond the wreckage of the Mercy's Light, a new presence stirs. The abyss, silent and unfathomable, trembles as a massive fleet materializes from the nothingness, as though summoned by some unseen hand. These ships are unlike any Draxos has ever witnessed. Their forms, sleek and angular, cut through the black void with an unsettling grace, their silhouettes darkened against the stars, casting long, menacing shadows that seem to stretch toward the dark spear. The ships gleam in the cold light of distant stars, dark, ominous, yet radiating a quiet power. They move with precision, as if coordinated by a single mind, their silent engines whispering across the void. The cold emptiness of space becomes alive with the presence of these vessels, a fleet of silent warriors. No longer is there peace in the expanse. Now, it is filled with the electric tension of imminent conflict. Draxos stares at the view screen, his eyes widening as the ships form a perfect perimeter around Mercy's light, blocking any path of escape or approach. They are powerful, more powerful than any warships he has encountered, bristling with weaponry that gleams coldly in a dim light. The ships shimmer slightly, their surfaces shifting as if made of liquid shadow, bending light around them. It is as if they exist in more than one plane of existence at once, solid, yet intangible. Situation. Draxos's breath catches in his throat as he leans closer to the view screen. His mind races, struggling to comprehend what is unfolding before him. He's never seen ships like this. There's something about them, something otherworldly that unsettles him to his core. These vessels don't move like ordinary warships. They glide, as if they were ghosts, their hulls sleek and sharp, as though forged from the very fabric of the void itself. Their weapons are not of the crude, raw power that his species relies upon. These are calculated, refined, honed to perfection. Commander Draxos, voice shaking slightly, muttering. Impossible. These ships, they're. His mandibles click together, a sound that betrays his anxiety. He's never felt this kind of unease before. The ships don't make a sound as they move, no thrusters or engines roaring, only a soft hum, a low vibration that reverberates deep within his bones. Lieutenant Commander Zira Valen, tensing at her station. Sir, these ships, they don't match any known human design. Their technology, it's beyond anything we've encountered. Her voice trembles, not from fear, but from a growing sense of awe and disbelief. She is the first to admit what Draxos is too proud to acknowledge. These ships are not just different, they are superior. Climax. The fleet, once scattered across the distance of space, now holds its ground, forming a silent circle around the Mercy's light. Despite their overwhelming power, they do not fire. They do not make any aggressive move. The tension thickens. The ships hang in a void like harbingers, silent and still, their weapon ports open, yet they remain calm. Commander Draxos, growing more agitated, his eyes darting from one display to another. Why aren't they attacking? Why aren't they? His words trail off as a realization creeps in. These human ships, despite their terrifying power, are not acting impulsively. They are waiting. They are waiting for something, for a signal, a message, something that he hasn't given yet. On the screen, a single transmission flickers through, an unbroken line of cold, calculated precision. The voice is clear, unyielding, and cold as the stars themselves. Admiral Lyra Storm's voice, calm, composed. This is Admiral Lyra Storm of the Earth Vengeance Fleet. You have attacked our Mercy. Now, you will face the consequences. We will not act until you respond. Her words are not a threat, but a promise delivered with such stark finality that even Draxos's battle-hardened mind can't help but feel the weight of her resolve. It's a message that chills him to his core. Humanity is not here for a simple skirmish. They are here for justice, and they will not be moved. The human fleet remains at a standstill, an eerie silence hanging between them and the dark spear, as though the entire galaxy is holding its breath. The dark ships, poised and waiting, seem to blend into the fabric of space itself, as though they are more than just ships. They are part of the very cosmos, a reflection of its darkest, most mysterious forces. Draxos stands motionless, his mind racing as he considers his next move. The enormity of what is happening, this shift in power, this unexpected force from humanity has thrown him into uncharted territory. He knows one thing for certain: this battle will not be fought with brute force alone. The humans are playing a different game entirely, and he has yet to understand the rules. The human fleet does not move. The dark spear does not fire. The galaxy holds its breath. The cold, empty void between the two fleets grows thicker as the silence stretches, an unnatural stillness that weighs heavily on the airless expanse of space. The dark spear floats ominously, its dark silhouette a stark contrast against the bright shimmer of distant stars. The human fleet, a collection of sleek, angular ships, remains motionless in its perfect formation. Their presence is like an eerie shadow, as if the very fabric of space is bending around them. There is no chatter, no hum of communication, only the cold, distant hum of the void itself, amplifying the tension that crackles through the bridge of the dark spear. A single transmission cuts through the stillness, sharp and cold, reverberating like a bell tolling across the emptiness. Admiral Lyra Storm's voice, measured and unyielding, echoes from every speaker, sending a chill down Draxos' spine. Admiral Lyra Storm's voice, calm, deliberate. We chose mercy because we have the strength to do so. Today, you will see the truth. The words hang in the air, suspended in the void of space. There's no threat, no anger, only the unsettling finality of truth being revealed. As the message fades, a sense of inevitability settles over the dark spear. The hum of its systems, once steady and sure, now feels distant and fragile, as if reality itself is bending under the weight of what is about to unfold. Situation. Draxos stares at the message, his mind racing. The words linger in his mind, repeating themselves like a haunting refrain. Strength to do so. He thinks. His gaze hardens, his mandibles clicking in frustration. He had always viewed the Mercy's light and its ilk as weak, soft vessels that distracted themselves with useless compassion. But now, after seeing the might of the human fleet, he starts to realize something far more disturbing. Humanity's compassion wasn't born out of weakness, but out of an unshakable confidence in their own power. Commander Draxos, muttering to himself. They didn't build hospitals because they were fragile, they built them because they could. Because they are strong enough to afford the luxury of mercy. The realization hits him with the force of an avalanche. He's been wrong. The Mercy's light wasn't a symbol of weakness, it was a testament to humanity's true power. They are not a fledgling species, as he had thought. No, they are something far more dangerous. They are capable of mercy because they have mastered war, destruction, and conquest to such an extent that they can choose to withhold it. And in that choice, they have become far more terrifying than any empire built on war alone. Climax. The air around the dark spear seems to shift, charged with an electric tension, as the human fleet begins to move. The silence that has held them captive breaks with a soft hum of their engines, a sound so low it's almost imperceptible, as though the ships are moving through another dimension, slipping through the veil of reality itself. And then, without warning, the human ships begin to deploy their weapon. It starts as a subtle shimmer in the air around them, almost like a ripple in the fabric of space itself. A low, resonating hum pulses outward, and the ships seem to flicker, their surfaces warping as if they are dissolving in the very air. A new presence makes itself known, something far darker, far more ominous than anything Draxos has ever encountered. Lieutenant Commander Zira Valen, voice quaking. What are they doing? A moment of terrifying clarity strikes. The ships are deploying their new weapon, the quantum shears, a tool of unimaginable precision, a force so advanced it seems to defy the laws of physics themselves. The air seems to still around the dark spear, as if the universe itself is holding its breath. Commander Draxos, whispering, horrified. No, they can't. What are they doing to the fabric of reality? The first beam pulses out, a wave of dark energy, so smooth and perfect that it seems to bend space itself around it. The energy strikes a nearby object, an asteroid, a piece of debris floating through the void, and in an instant, it's gone. Not destroyed, not vaporized, but erased. It vanishes, leaving nothing behind. No debris. No explosion. No trace of its existence. Lieutenant Commander Zira Valen, voice trembling. It's gone. There's nothing left. How could they? Draxos watches in stunned silence as the quantum shears slice through reality itself, erasing matter as though it never existed. No explosion. No fire. No remnants. Just the sheer impossibility of what's happening before his very eyes. Each sweep of the quantum weapon removes matter from existence with surgical precision, like a surgeon's scalpel excising a tumor, leaving behind nothing but the void. The first strike is followed by another, and then another, until the ships of the human fleet seem to be casting the very fabric of space into disarray. A warship here. A station there. Each piece of the Dominion's infrastructure is erased, each one dissolving into nothingness as if it had never been. Draxos feels the full weight of the moment pressed down on him. This is not a weapon of war. This is something else entirely. This is not about conquering territory or defeating an enemy. This is about rewriting the very rules of existence. The quantum shears aren't just weapons, they are the power to unmake the universe itself. The dark spear trembles, and Draxos knows that this is only the beginning. What he's seeing now, this unimaginable power, is humanity's true strength. And it's not just their ability to destroy, it's their ability to erase, to rewrite the cosmos on their own terms. The human fleet continues its quiet, methodical assault. Each strike from the quantum shears a reminder of the terrifying truth: humanity has the power to shape the very fabric of reality. And Draxos, for the first time in his life, realizes just how small his empire truly is in the face of such overwhelming force. The dark spear groans under the relentless assault, its hulking frame shuddering with each pulse of energy from the human fleet. Each strike that lands on the ship is like a surgical incision, sharp, clean, and devastating. The ship's hull cracks in perfect lines, not in chaotic, fiery bursts, but with unnerving precision. There's no explosion, no burning wreckage. Just the eerie, unnatural feeling that the very fabric of the ship is being erased from existence. The void outside seems to press closer as if it were swallowing the dark spear whole, one section at a time. The weapons on the dark spear fire futilely into the abyss, their blasts dissipating as though the very air absorbs them, leaving no trace of their existence. The crew is silent, paralyzed by the utter strangeness of what they are witnessing. Systems flicker, failing without warning, as if being torn apart from the inside. Through the view screen, Draxos watches in stunned disbelief as entire sections of the Dominion's military infrastructure, the heart of their war machine, disappear in an instant. It is not the kind of destruction he is accustomed to. There is no burning carnage, no shattered debris left behind. The structures, the fleets, the battlegrounds vanish as though they had never been there. A single sweep of the quantum shears from the human fleet erases them with a surgical calmness. The space where once there were stations, ships, weapons, now there is nothing. Just an empty void. Lieutenant Commander Zira Valen, in a near whisper, horrified. It's gone. They are not destroying it, they are erasing it, completely. Situation. Draxos' thoughts swirl in a vortex of confusion and fear. The realization hits him like a thunderclap, sharp and clear. He had believed the humans to be weak, naive, their compassion nothing more than a strategy of desperation. But now, as he watches their fleet move with perfect precision, erasing the very fabric of his empire without a single wasted effort, he understands. Humanity doesn't need to destroy with brute force. They don't need to bring down cities with fire and carnage. They are wielding something far more terrifying. They are editing reality itself, rewriting the universe with the ease of a hand changing the course of a river. Their quantum shears aren't weapons of annihilation. They are instruments of surgical precision. Tools that excise what does not belong with the same care and focus a surgeon uses to remove a diseased organ. There is no mess. There is no rubble. The very concept of matter seems to bend at their will. Commander Draxos, in a daze, as the cold grip of understanding tightens around him. They are not fighting a war. They are applying medicine to warfare. They are curing the galaxy of what they deem as sickness. Each fleet, each station that vanishes into nothingness is a testament to the power that humanity now holds. Draxos' breath quickens, his mind struggling to process the magnitude of what is happening. These humans are not simply reacting with vengeance, they are exercising their power with terrifying restraint, precision, and control. They are removing the cancer of violence and war, erasing it from the galaxy, not through destruction, but through removal. Clean. Perfect. Without hesitation. Climax. The dark spear trembles again, more violently this time. Draxos' eyes widen as he watches entire fleets once proud and powerful disappear. Not a trace is left. Not even the smallest fragment of their existence remains. It is as if the galaxy itself is holding its breath, unsure whether to mourn the loss or stand in awe of the precision with which these human warships are erasing everything they deem a threat. The very concept of space-time seems to ripple as matter is simply erased. On the bridge of the Dark Spear, the crew watches helplessly as their fleet vanishes into nothingness, leaving behind only the endless void. They cannot comprehend what they are seeing. They are witnessing an erasure of entire worlds, an unfathomable power that defies their understanding of warfare. Commander Draxos, finally understanding, his voice barely above a whisper. This is their true power. The human fleet moves with such terrifying precision that Draxos begins to understand the message. Humanity is not a species to be feared because of their strength in battle. They are feared because they possess the power to choose when to use their strength and when to wield mercy. They are capable of destruction on an unimaginable scale, but they choose to heal, to correct, to surgically remove the rot from the galaxy. Their power does not lie in brute force, it lies in their ability to edit reality itself, to erase the very foundation of any threat that dares rise against them. As the last of the Dominion's military bases flickers and disappears into the cold void, the human fleet sends a final message, echoing through the silence of space like a cold wind. Admiral Lyra Storm's voice, calm, unwavering. We chose healing, but if you attack us, we will respond with precision greater than any weapon. The message hangs in the air, a chilling promise of the price for underestimating humanity's true nature. The Dominion fleet has been erased. Their infrastructure, their power, their pride all wiped away with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel. The humans have shown that their true strength lies not in the strength of their armies, but in their ability to bend reality itself to their will. And Draxos, for the first time in his life, understands the true meaning of power. The cold grip of space feels even more suffocating now, as Draxos and his crew find themselves trapped in an impenetrable quantum bubble, isolated from normal space-time. Outside, the universe continues, but within this confined pocket, time feels bent, distorted. The stars outside shift and pulse strangely, flickering as if reality itself is warping around them. The edges of the bubble shimmer with a faint, ethereal glow, a barrier that defies all logic, like the thin membrane between worlds. The dark spear hangs in the middle of this bubble, its once proud hull now dimmed and silent, its systems frozen, unable to break free from the unyielding grip of the quantum field. The crew, once so full of pride and purpose, now stands motionless, trapped in this impossible prison, their expressions a mixture of confusion, fear, and guilt. The ship's interior feels oppressive, as if the very walls are closing in, amplifying the sense of dread. The usual hum of the engines is absent, Only the faint hum of the quantum field permeates the silence, like the low, constant buzz of a distant storm. Situation. As Draxos stands on the bridge, his sharp mandibles twitching with unease, the reality of the situation finally begins to sink in. His empire is gone, his fleet erased from existence, and he is now at the mercy of those he sought to destroy. The stars outside are just pinpricks of light in a vast and indifferent void, while inside this quantum prison, time stretches and bends unnaturally. Then, through the cold, empty silence, a new presence emerges, a voice, soft but firm, cutting through the dissonant hum of the ship. Dr. Ilra Voss, a calm and composed figure from Mercy's light, steps forward. She is no longer the person he had once dismissed. Now, she is his captor, tasked with something far darker than he could have imagined. Her face is stern, but there is no malice in her eyes, only the steady hand of someone who is about to carry out the necessary task. Dr. Ilra Voss, her voice cold, but carrying an edge of resolve. Commander Draxos, you will experience every moment of pain you inflicted on the innocent. Your actions have consequences, and now you will understand them, in full. A soft, chilling hum surrounds the room as the quantum surgery begins. Draxos feels an unfamiliar coldness creep into his bones, an icy chill that spreads throughout his body. His senses grow sharper, more aware of every passing second, as though time itself is slowing, stretching thin like a taut wire. Climax. The room shifts, warping around him. The quantum field bends space-time, and Draxos's body goes rigid. He can feel the weight of the universe itself pressing down on him, a suffocating force as each moment of pain he caused floods his consciousness. The image of Mercy's light, broken and torn, flashes in his mind. He sees the faces of the children he had condemned, the helpless civilians, the brave doctors who tried to save them, all of them in agonizing clarity. He feels their pain, their fear, their terror, as though it were his own. Each instance of suffering is a blade, carving deeper into his psyche, making him relieve each moment of destruction. The sounds of the ship's walls cracking, the screams of those aboard Mercy's light, the horrific, cold silence after each strike, all of it becomes his reality. His breath quickens as the full weight of the lives he destroyed crashes into him like a wave. It is as though every life he ended, every soul he condemned to the void, now exists within him. He cannot escape it. He cannot run from it. Dr. Ilra Voss, her voice cutting through his pain. You will feel every moment. You will know the full cost of your arrogance, of your belief that strength comes from destruction. In that moment, Draxos truly understands the power of humanity. They do not choose to heal because they are weak. They choose to heal because they are strong enough to withhold their power, strong enough to choose mercy in the face of unimaginable strength. He is now part of the process he had tried to obliterate, the very surgery he sought to destroy, now performed on him. The power to choose healing over annihilation is the true strength he had failed to recognize. Ending. The scene shifts as Draxos is forced to confront his own inner torment, his realization crystal clear. He is now trapped, a living reminder of the cost of his actions. As the quantum surgery continues to unfold, the image of Mercy's light appears before him once again, not in its broken, burning state, but as a symbol, shining in the distance like a beacon of light in the void. This image, the ship, the people, the very essence of humanity's mercy, is not an image of defeat. It is a memorial to the strength that comes from choosing to heal rather than to destroy. The message rings out, clear and resolute, cutting through the fabric of space and time. It is a message that will reverberate across the galaxy, a reminder of what humanity stands for. Admiral Lyra Storm's voice, calm, unwavering. Healing is not weakness, it is strength. And we will protect it with everything we have. And there it is, the chilling truth about humanity's power, revealed in ways no one could have imagined. What seemed like weakness was, in fact, an unimaginable strength, a choice to heal when they had the power to destroy. Humanity's mercy wasn't born out of fragility, but from a place of such profound power that they could afford to withhold it. The galaxy will never forget the day humanity showed that healing is not weakness, it's a strength stronger than any weapon. But what does this mean for the future? With such a force now watching, what can any empire, any species, do to challenge them? Could there be more hidden powers in the universe waiting to reveal themselves? Or perhaps, there's an even darker mystery lurking just beyond the stars. The question remains, what happens when mercy becomes the most powerful weapon in existence? If you're as captivated by this tale as we are, don't forget to leave a comment below. What do you think humanity's true power means for the galaxy? And make sure you're subscribed for more mind-bending stories, where the line between war and peace is never quite what it seems. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive, because the universe is full of mysteries just waiting to be uncovered.